So first of all, we will see boron doing what? Boron reducing pollen tube bursting. Okay. So first boron reducing bursting of pollen tube. Okay, so boron doing what? Reducing bursting of pollen tube. Okay, and what they are doing? Enhancing. What they are enhancing? Their germination percentage. Okay, and enhancing germination percentage and growth. Okay, so it is what we seen boron. Next one is calcium. Calcium doing what? Regulating pollen germination. Calcium regulating pollen germination. One by one you have to remember boron work is what, calcium work is what. Okay, next inositol. Inositol doing what? It regulates direction of pollen tube growth. Inositol like organic compounds regulates direction of pollen tube growth. Okay, what they are doing? Regulates direction of pollen tube growth. Okay, now here what happens? Sometimes they are asking that any enzymes is there that pollen tube elongation regulated. So that is pectinase. What is that name is? Pectinase, cellulase, calase, that is combined form. So enzymes pectinase, cellulase and calase. Okay, what are those? Pectinase, cellulase and calase. It is doing what? These increasing the pollen tube length. So elongation helps in elongation or length increase of pollen tube. Okay, here these enzymes you have to remember: cellulase, pectinase, calase. Okay, now sometime they are asking that what is the length of pollen tube. So pollen tube length varies from millimeter to 45 centimeter. Okay, that longest pollen tube you have seen in maize. Okay, so what we can say? Length of pollen tube varies from few millimeter to 45 centimeter in maize that contain longest pollen tube. Longest pollen tube. Okay, so this is what? This is factors that are regulating pollen germination. Now some questions are asking what is the optimum temperature on which what happens? Pollen germination occurs. So that optimum temperature is 20 to 30 degrees centigrade. So what we can say, best temperature for pollen tube germination is how much? 20 to 30 degrees centigrade. Okay, this you have to remember. Okay, 20 to 30 degrees centigrade, best temperature for pollen tube germination. Okay, now what happens generally, pollen grains are monocephalous. Now what do you mean by monocephalous? Monocephalous means they generate only one pollen tube. Why I told generally? Because most of the species generate only one pollen tube, but in some species that contain more than one pollen tube, that you have to remember. Okay, so pollen grains are usually monocephalous. Okay, what I told, pollen grains are usually monocephalous, or it is also known as monosiphonous. Monosiphonous. So what does it mean? Only one pollen tube develop, only one pollen tube. Mono means one. So develop one pollen tube. Okay, so develop one pollen tube, that is monosiphonous or monocephalous. Okay, but in some plant, but in some plants, okay, what happens? More than one pollen tube, but in some plants, what happen? Polysiphonous conditions are there. Polysiphonous. Poly means more than one. Siphonous conditions are there. Okay, so polysiphonous means what we can say? More than one. Even 10 pollen tubes are found in Eldia. 10 pollen tubes are found in Eldia. This plant you have to remember. This is the JIPMER question, that polysiphonous condition under that 10 pollen tubes are found in, so that is Eldia. Okay, 14 tubes, pollen tubes are found in which one? Malwa. 14 pollen tubes are found in which one? Malwa. This is the plant. Okay, this belongs to Malvaceae family. Okay, this is belonging to Malvaceae family. So these 2 points we have to remember. If 10 pollen tubes they are asking, because these are exception, and exceptions are always welcome in medical exams. Okay, so 10 pollen tubes are found in Eldia and 14 pollen tubes are found in Malwa. Malwa belongs to Malvaceae family. Okay, now next we have to see that movement of pollen tube. Okay, on the basis of movement of pollen tube through style, how many types are there? Okay, on the basis of movement of pollen tube through style. It is of three types. It is of three types. Now, first type means we can say method of entry of pollen tube into where? Ovule. We can write here also method of entry of pollen tube into ovule. Okay, so this is how many types are there? Three types. Okay, now number one is porogamy, number two is mesogamy, number three is chalezogamy, as the name suggests. Okay, so number one is porogamy. Okay, now porogamy means what? When pollen tube enters into the ovule with the help of or through the micropyle. Okay, so when the pollen tube enters into ovule through micropyle. Okay, through micropyle, it is known as porogamy. It is known as porogamy, and it is most common. Okay, it is what? Most common, that is found in most of the angiosperms. It is common, found in most of angiosperms, flowering plant. Most of the angiosperms. So that is porogamy. Next one is chalezogamy. Means which side? Yes, right, chalaza side. So second is chalezogamy. When the pollen tube enters into ovule through chalaza, it is known as chalezogamy. What is known as chalezogamy? Okay, and it is found in casuarina. So for example is casuarina plant. Okay, now next we have to see that is another type, that is mesogamy. So third type is mesogamy. Okay, when the pollen tube enters into the ovule by integuments or nucellus, it is known as mesogamy. Okay, it is known as what? By integuments or nucellus, it is known as mesogamy. Okay, and example is cucurbita. So for example, cucurbita beta. Okay, so these three modes of entry of pollen tube are there: orogamy, chalezogamy, mesogamy. Okay, now next we have to see that this pollen tube having how many layer and what component that layer is being formed. Okay, so generally what happen, pollen tube is having three layered structure. This you have to remember, three layered structure. Okay, here what happens, the outer layer is made up of pectin. So three layer is there: outer layer is made up of pectin. Okay, middle layer is made up of pectocellulose. What I told, outer layer pectin, middle layer pectocellulose, and inner layer is made up of cellulose. Inner layer is made up of cellulose. So how many layers are there in pollen tube? It is having three layered structure. Okay, now sometime I also seen question, that is, what is the growth rate? Okay, what is the movement rate of pollen tube? Okay, so that we have to see. So this pollen tube moves at the rate of 1 to 6 mm per hour. What I told, pollen tube moves at the rate of 1 to 6 mm per hour. This you have to remember. Okay, pollen tube moves at the rate of what? 1 to 6 mm per hour. Okay, now here one question are asking, what do you mean by in vivo germination or in vitro fertilization or hanging drop method? All three terms are same. What I told, in vivo germination, in vitro fertilization, okay, and hanging drop method. Hanging drop method. These terms are having same meaning. Okay, what happens here? Pollen germination studied by dusting pollen. Okay, pollen germination, how they are studying? By dusting pollen. So what we can say, pollen germination studied by dusting pollen. Okay, how much? By dusting pollen. Okay, and they are taking, just for example, pea, chickpea, okay, vinca. So for example, pea, chickpea, Vinca, etc. Okay, and what they are doing, this dusting happens on where? Glass slide. On glass slide. And then what they are doing? Then sugar solutions. Okay, then a drop of 10% sugar solution is being mixed, and a drop of 10% sugar solution is being mixed with this. Okay, they are mixing how much? 10% sugar solution. Okay, and what they are doing? Along with boric acid, with this, along with boric acid. Okay, so which organic acid they are using? So this is boric acid. Okay, and calcium, magnesium, potassium salt. Boric acid, calcium, magnesium, potassium salts. Okay, and what they are doing? After 10 to 15 minutes, pollen tube germinate in laboratory. After 10 to 15 minutes, pollen tube germinate in laboratory. It is known as hanging drop method. Here only 2 or 3 things you have to remember, that in vivo germination or in vitro fertilization or hanging drop method, which are the solutions are there, that is 10% sugar solution. Which acid is there? Boric acid, calcium, magnesium, potassium salt. Okay, for what purpose? Pollen tube germination in laboratory. Laboratory Latin word is vivo or vitro. Okay, that's why it is known as in vivo germination or in vivo fertilization. So here 2 or 3 things you have to remember: 10% sugar solution, boric acid, calcium, magnesium, and potassium salts. Okay, now next we have to see that what do you mean by artificial hybridization? Artificial hybridization. As name suggests, artificial means non-natural. Okay, means they are using some equipment or process like emasculation, like bagging and rebagging to produce which type they need or they desire. So desired type of fertility, productivity, what are the processes are involved by manually, okay, by scientific method. So that process is known as artificial hybridization. Mostly it is using where? For crop improvement. Okay, for crop improvement. So what we can write? For crop improvement, this statement you have to write or give attention. What? For crop movement, what happen? Crosses are made between varieties. Okay, different varieties. So crosses are made between different varieties to fulfill the demand. Fill the demand of productivity. Okay, productivity. Method used is artificial hybridization. Okay, so it is artificial hybridization. Now here two steps are involved. So first steps are emasculation. Now what do you mean by this emasculation? So emasculation means removal of anther. Okay, removal of anthers from male part. Okay, so removal of anthers from male part, that is known as what? From male part, or we can say from floral bud. So removal of anthers from male part or floral bud by forceps is known as emasculation. Okay, next steps are there, that is bagging and rebagging. Bagging and rebagging. Here what happens? Emasculated means open one, anthers removed one. So what happens? It may happen that another anthers can fertilize that. So they are using what? One nylon paper is there, parchment paper is there, that is covered of that unopened anther place. Okay, and that is process known as bagging. So what we can say, bagging is what? Emasculated flower has to be covered. Emasculated flower has to be covered by nylon paper. Okay, what is that? By nylon paper or parchment paper or parchment paper to avoid fertilization. Okay, because we have to do what? Desired one. So to avoid fertilization, and this process is known as bagging. Okay, after that we are desired pollen grains we given, then again we covered. So that process is known as rebagging. Okay, so questions are asking what are the steps followed in artificial hybridization. So first one is emasculation and another one is bagging and rebagging. Any problem? Okay, now we have to come on next topic, that is a double fertilization. We already formed male gamete along with pollen tube. So this is pollen tube. This is male gametes. Okay. So this is male one. Male gametophyte. Also we seen female gametophyte or embryo sac. This is antipodal cells. This portion is a central cell. Here two synergids are there. Here finger-like structures are found in synergids, that is known as filiform apparatus. Centrally placed, it is egg cell. So this is a female gametophyte embryo sac. Female gametophyte. This what is? It is male gametophyte. Microspore. Okay. Now, what I told, double fertilization. Why I told double fertilization means here two types of fertilization are there. One is syngamy and another one is triple fusion. Okay, one is syngamy and one is triple fusion. Now we will see how it plays. Now, with the help of pollination, it comes close to each other. Now, there what happens? This first male gamete enters through micropylar end. Okay, and what they are doing? They degenerate this first one, first synergids. This degenerate. Okay, and this filiform apparatus activated. When they activated this, giving the direction to this male gamete, and it enters into egg cell. Okay, it enters into egg cell. For what purpose? Fertilization. So here fertilization occurs. This fertilization is known as syngamy. Now here you have to remember that zygote formation occurs in which type of fertilization? So that is syngamy. So here what happens? Zygote formation. Okay, this you have to remember. Now, next what happened? This second male gamete also comes and enters through synergids. It doing what? It also degenerate another synergids and comes into the central cell. And here what happens? They making PEC, primary endosperm cell. Primary endosperm cell. Okay. Here how many nucleus is there? 1, 2, 3. So it is happening 3n. Here how many in syngamy? 2n. Okay. This process is known as a triple fusion. This process is known as triple fusion. So what we have seen here, first type of fertilization is syngamy and another type of fertilization is triple fusion. And that's why we told double fertilization. It is what? Characteristic feature. Characteristic feature of flowering plants. Flowering plants or angiospermic plants. Angiospermic plants. This is very important. That double fertilization contains what are the things are there? It is 2n, it is 3n. Okay, now here questions are asking, already asked questions in JIPMER, that how many nucleus being participated in double fertilization. So yes, tell me how many? Right, so it is here 2 and here 3. So how many? 5 nucleus is being involved